Peter is an apostle. Paul is an apostle.
Right.
Two different geographical locations.
Wow.
Paul is assigned to the Gentiles. Peter is assigned to the Jews.
So neither one of them is more anointed than the other.
Exactly right. They just both have a calling. So it's really impossible for anybody in the body of Christ to be more anointed than anybody. Why? Because everybody has a specific calling and purpose in life, and God is the one that did it. So why would God make somebody better than another person?
Good point.
What he does is everybody is equal in the sense that they all have a calling, but God gives different callings and different gifts to different people. That's Romans chapter 12, starting there at verse 3 on down. That we have many in the body of Christ, but not everyone has the same calling or the same gifting. So nobody is more gifted, nobody is more anointed, and nobody is more powerful than the next one. All right, so we all have different gifts, and we get that from God.
So that terminology that you hear thrown around in churches everywhere, more anointed, it doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. All it does is create competition. That's the reason why we got so much competition in the body of Christ, because we are telling people that they're more anointed than another person. And if the person on television, if you got a person on television, they're big time, what they call big time preacher, that means that preacher is more anointed than the person who is not known. Well, it's just silliness, and it's creating competition in the body of Christ. People got low self-esteem, all of that kind of stuff. Switching lanes. I'm trying to get to the big status, but you already successful once you accepted the call of God on your life.
Wow.
And so God doesn't see it the way man sees it, and we're competing with one another. We're comparing ourselves because we're using these silly terminologies like more anointed.
So let me just break this down. So if I'm called to be a janitor and I own a janitorial company, and you're called to be the president of the United States, you're not more anointed than I am. I'm just called to do this, and you're called to do that. I like the word called, because when you use that word, then you see how it doesn't make sense to say you're more anointed, because if the word means called, then that's like me saying, oh, you're more called than I am. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. And the word called means to be invited.
Okay.
It means to be invited into something.
Okay.
All right. So when God calls you into ministry, calls you into business, calls you to be a janitor, calls you to be in politics, whatever the case may be, he's just simply inviting you to do a certain thing in a certain arena.